This week at the Tauranga Vet Clinic, large animal vet Dave advises on 2 alpacas, if he can catch them.
But it's not the first time we have to catch a patient first.
A giant puppy on the loose in the clinic.
Oh God.
It's going to take me for a run.
And Holly attempts to save a well-loved moggy's use of his legs.
If we haven't had any response within the week, then we'll be having to sort of make a decision.
In this provincial town in the heart of New Zealand, experienced vets
So far everything seems to be normal in the abdomen here.
and new graduates work side by side to care for the animals of their region. Cruz has dragged in his owners to see vet Holly this morning. Believe it or not, this hulking mass is just a puppy. A puppy with a sore paw.
It's been going on for a little while now. It sort of comes and goes, but we decided it's time to get it checked out. It's been deteriorating in the last 2 weeks because he's a big dog, he's growing fast, so I'm expecting there's a lot of pressure on that leg.
This Shar-Pei Rottweiler is one gentle giant.
Hi, how are you going? Good.
Cruz has grown up on a farm and isn't used to crowds. He'll need all hands on deck to keep him under control.
I have brought my son because he's big and strong, and I wasn't sure if I can control the dog because he's got so much power. And I knew he'd get very excited coming into town because he's not used to seeing all this people and all this commotion.
Cruz's owner Debbie explains to vet Holly what the problem is.
He's got a lame right front leg. It sort of comes and goes, but in the last 2 weeks it's gotten worse.
Any number of things can cause them to be lame. Could be he's got something in his paw, could be isolated to one of the joints. He could have done some soft tissue damage, potentially a sprain, etc.
Cruz is not at all interested in following instructions. Wrangling a 50-kilo mass with a puppy brain is not an easy task.
Initially, we just want to have a good feel, see if there's any swelling. Excuse me, not a game.
Cruz isn't doing what he's told, and the consultation is doubling up as a doggy obedience class.
I don't want to make it okay that he's, mouthing me. You just want to sort of back away. That's not what we want, Cruz.
Holly thinks the problem could be far more serious than just a sore paw.
With our rotties, there are, I guess, a few things that they are more prone to as well. One particularly forelimb lameness around the elbows. Had something in it.
They'll need an X-ray to see if he has elbow dysplasia, a relatively common cause of lameness in big dogs.
X-rays will allow us to look at the bony structures within and around the joint. This is what we call the anchineal process.
Yeah.
So occasionally that bone there will either chip or get a little fracture in it. So that's something that's really common with elbow dysplasia, and it can be because it just wasn't quite the right shape.
It's sounding serious, and this has left Debbie feeling nervous.
Well, I'm hoping we don't have to go and have surgery because that's a lot of money, and we'll do whatever we have to do for him, but, everybody's got to watch their money.
If Cruz needs elbow surgery, it could cost thousands, but also may not change the outcome. Holly needs to consider all options, weighing up benefit to Cruz as well as the cost to the customer. Before his X-ray, Cruz will need to be sedated.
Okay, buddy. Gonna do a sit for Holly?
But that means leaving him in the clinic by himself.
He's never been here with anybody ever, so I don't know what he'd be like.
Cruz is a friendly dog, but he's out of control, so before Debbie heads off, Holly suggests a bit of dog obedience
That'll
training.
be perfect.
I'll be back, mate.
The worst thing is having a dog that, you're worried about with cats, you're worried about with
Everything.
Cruz hasn't spent much time off the family farm, and Holly recommends more socialisation now he's growing up.
The last thing we want is, for people to not enjoy having their pets and not love it, and if you have an issue, that can all change really quickly.
So with something to think about, Debbie heads off, leaving Cruz in safe hands.
Thanks, Holly.
Just 10 minutes out into the country, veteran vet Dave is making a house call to examine an exotic animal with mysterious bald patches.
We're going to see an alpaca with a wound It's not healing at the moment for some reason that we have to find out.
He'll be on the lookout for anything unusual, no matter how big or small.
Every wound's different, but it's often the small wounds that are the problem ones, but the owners often think they're fairly cursory because they're so small. You know, they can be life-threatening.
When Tina and Robin moved to this rural paradise 2 years ago, they wondered what to do with the empty paddock.
We thought about grazing, and I didn't want anything that we were likely to put in the freezer, which is why we picked alpacas.
The couple's pets are 2 of approximately 20,000 registered alpacas in New Zealand. They've been a feature of our farm since the late 80s, when they were first imported from Peru.
We love them to bits. They're really a lovely animal to have. They're much more responsive to you than, say, a cow.
The caramel female alpaca has been upset for a few weeks.
It was scuffing its back feet to get the flies away, and then a couple of days later we noticed that there was bare skin down by its rear hooves.
The flies have been attracted to the alpaca's rear legs and could be a sign of something more serious.
I won't bite. I'll be very gentle, I promise. So you can see that she's happy, in good condition, she's walking comfortably, she's not lame. So it'll be a question of trying to work out the underlying cause now.
But that might be easier said than done. Despite having a sore foot, this frisky pet alpaca is quick on her feet and not keen to be caught.
Oh my goodness, how much paddock have they got?
And her macho mate seems intent on getting in the way.
Yeah, the female's a friendly one, but the male one, he gets a little bit excited and tends to snort and maybe just spit at you occasionally.
It's not the first time we have to catch a patient first.
While Dave tries to catch his patient to see what's wrong, Tony and her daughter Jenna have brought their cat Malcolm into the clinic because his hind legs have stopped working altogether.
He's kind of lost movement in his back legs, so he's scooting along. It's all right. It's all right.
Hi, do you want to come on through?
Malcolm's legs suddenly stopped working last night, and Jenna and Tony want to know how to fix them.
Yeah, this morning he just couldn't even move his back legs.
Holly has a checklist of things to test for.
One of the things really need to establish basically whether they have any sensation or any pain response. If there's no sensation there, then it's obviously not such a good prognosis for us.
Holly is testing the moggy's legs to see if he can feel anything at all.
So you've still got some in that one. Well, this one, buddy. So you have still got some there. Yep, so you can definitely got deep pain. Malcolm has pulled away, so prognosis-wise is slightly better than if they have no response whatsoever. So that's a good
His back legs are still warm, which means Holly can rule out a blood clot.
Baby.
But she's concerned that it could be something just as serious.
So hubby's suspicious that he's had some sort of damage to his lower spine because it's like your legs.
Malcolm is adored by all the family, especially Tony's 2 granddaughters.
They treat him like a baby, like a human baby. Oh no, they're not going to be happy.
Coming up, Cruz is anything but cruisy as the team pull together to try to sedate her.
Oh my God.
Dave catches up with his agile alpaca.
All right.
And Malcolm's condition means some difficult decisions for his owner, Tony. Beloved family pet cat Malcolm has mysteriously lost the use of his back legs, and Holly is trying to find out what can be done for him.
Hind limb paralysis cases can be really hard to deal with, particularly for the owners. It's something that's come on really suddenly and can have a really poor prognosis.
There are a number of ways Malcolm could have damaged the nerves in his back. While a specialist could be brought in to do some high-end imaging, this won't change Malcolm's predicament.
Chance of them coming right isn't necessarily that high.
What are you saying?
Although it's evident to Holly that Malcolm's condition is very serious, it comes as a surprise to Tony.
So what is the chances of him actually getting better with these anti-inflammatories?
I give it maybe 20%. Yeah.
No, not good at all. But, I don't want to see him suffer.
Sort of waste your money.
But Holly's not giving up on Malcolm yet.
All right.
Hopefully in the case with Malcolm, because we have got some deep pain sensation, there is still a chance that with anti-inflammatories we may potentially have a good outcome here.
All Malcolm's family can do now is hope for a miracle. Meanwhile, out of town at Robin and Tina's lifestyle blog, Dave has finally caught Candy, the fast-footed pet alpaca.
Hair loss rather than... All right.
As the flies bother her, she brings up one foot and bangs it against the other leg sort of thing to get the flies off.
Yeah, and they don't otherwise seem itchy at all. They're not scratching up against the fence or post. Or...
No, I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, so there's no actually raw areas or sore
I sprayed some betadine on it.
Yeah, well, that's a pretty good first line. I mean, once the hair's gone, of course, it's going to take time for hair to grow back.
The owners are concerned about infection, but Dave suspects there's something else getting under her skin.
It seems extreme, I mean, to lose hair just because it's been kicking itself. That doesn't normally happen, so I suspect there's something else going on as well.
He decides to investigate further.
I just want to have just a general look at her while I'm here. They can hide a lot beneath their coat.
You're a beautiful girl, aren't you? Hey? You're all dusty. You've been in having dust bath.
Good girl. Ready?
Dave believes the mysterious bald patches could in fact be a symptom of parasites. He undertakes worming both pets, expecting to see a change in Candy within days.
We've just wormed her, which I think is very relevant. I mean, you can get some skin parasites that can, cause similar lesions like those on Candy, and then just monitor it.
Great.
And see what happens.
Okay.
Dave instructs Tina and Robin to keep a close eye on Candy over the next few weeks to make sure the lesions don't get any worse.
So that you see any lameness or those lesions extend or they become broken, anything like that, you just give us another call, and we'll have to take that next step and take some samples.
We're quite happy with that. We'll keep an eye on it and follow it through, and hopefully it'll sort it all out.
And to celebrate the positive prognosis, Candy is free to spend the afternoon enjoying a dust bath while Dave heads home. Dave is one of 9 vets at the Tauranga Clinic. He relocated to New Zealand over a decade ago, seeking a better lifestyle for his family.
Everyone enjoys a change. We've got 4 children. Keeps us very busy.
He has recently sold his family home and moved onto a boat. Currently, he's doing it up ready to take sail within 6 months.
What we really want to do is go adventuring and sailing and go and see parts of the world that, we haven't been to before, and expose the children to, different ways of living and different cultures. I like the dolphins. They always come and see us, don't they? Most of my experience, in the last 10, 15 years has been with horses. But now with this new move over here, having to go back to doing a bit of everything.
And the new laid-back life seems to agree with him. Coming up, Cruz the puppy is proving a handful for Holly, so she's called Max for backup.
Oh, God.
It's going to take me for a run.
And Malcolm is back, but has he improved?
But he was dragging himself around.
This morning, Tony has returned with her beloved cat Malcolm to see Holly. As if losing the use of his back legs wasn't serious enough, now it appears Malcolm is unable to urinate.
He wasn't walking or standing, but he was dragging himself around. And then this morning we woke up to this.
Okay, so I guess feeling at the moment he's got a really full bladder. Just in the past 24 hours his bladder will have blocked, and that is quite an extensive procedure to try and unblock him. I guess that's at this point.
A blocked bladder is extremely serious and can be life-threatening without emergency treatment. This complication on top of Malcolm's paralysis makes his future look bleak, and Holly desperately searches for any sign that the paralysis is improving.
Has he tried to put any no weight on it at all?
No, just like...
Yeah, I mean it's it's so hard, and it's so hard when this half, you know, if we just took a photo of here, you know, you'd say he's a normal cat.
But Malcolm is no longer a normal cat. While Nurse Jess provides support, Holly gently explains to Tony that euthanasia is the only real remaining option.
At this point, it's the kindest thing that you know that we can be doing for him, and so it's so hard, but it is where we're, I guess, lucky in the sense that for our pets, you know, we can make the choice for them. We don't want to let them suffer, and I think for him, it's going to be the right decision today. Did you want to be with him while we put him to sleep? So at this point in time, given his quality of life and the real lack of improvement that we've had over the past week, it's been decided to say farewell to Malcolm this morning. It's a really sad time for his family, who obviously love him dearly.
I'm sorry.
Safe travels, Paddy.
As a vet, we get to bring animals into the world. We also get to see them move on, and in a case like Malcolm, it's definitely the right choice to ensure that that he wasn't suffering and that he didn't end up having a really poor quality of life in his final days. Lovely, take care.
See you. Good boy.
For Giant Pup Cruz, the clinic is all fun and games as he waits to have his lame foot diagnosed, always keeping the staff on their toes.
Sort of snip everything, eh? So we're going to sedate Cruz with an IV injection that we can reverse afterwards, and we'll put him on the X-ray table, take a couple of shots. Sit.
The bigger the dog, the more medication needed, and Holly's had to enlist Max and Sam's help to hold Cruz down while it's administered.
Lie down.
His head's bigger than yours.
Because he is such a big boy, I've gotten some heavy artillery to be able to help me lift him today.
At 10 months, Cruz is still a puppy. Weighing in at 50 kilograms, he's a handful, even for 3 people.
Come on, matey.
Oh my god.
Do you want me to...
Oh god. He's just so strong.
Holly doesn't give up without a fight.
Hey, just stop it. Good. Not gonna let you defeat me, Cruz. Max, we need your muscles.
Cruz is finally sedated, and with Max's muscle power, all 50 kilograms are hauled onto the table, so Holly will be able to take the X-rays. Holly X-rays Cruz's elbow and wants to have a closer look at his shoulder.
Cruz's owners have given me the all good for an extra view up of that shoulder, so we'll just try and rule in what exactly is going on here.
So far, the results of the X-rays seem positive.
Initially, had a look at the elbow. Couldn't see too much going on. Couldn't specifically see any fragments.
Holly's emailed the x-rays to a specialist to see if they can pick up something she hasn't.
Oh, hey buddy, good stretch.
Nap time over, Debbie and Dale have returned from the farm to take home their beloved pup.
I can't wait to see him, but I think he might be a bit dopey.
Your family's here, Cruz. Oh boy. Yeah, honey.
We like them to look excited when they see us, don't we?
It's mostly good news and won't break the bank.
Everything looks pretty clear through his elbow, but almost looks like just a little bit of flattening or change, possibly through his shoulder.
Holly is hoping that rest and anti-inflammatories will be all Cruz needs for now.
What I've done is just scripted you out a week's worth of anti-inflammatories for him. So I'll get you to start his first one tonight when he goes home with his tea. Even if there is something more, I'd still expect you're going to get an improvement.
After his social vet vacation and a bit of dog obedience, Cruz is heading back to the farm to put his feet up.
You might not have to do quite so much rugby with the boys.
Coming up next time on Pet Medics, a kind-hearted regular is back. This time with an elderly stray cat.
Oh, no. Oh, she's a bit of a character, isn't she?
Max visits the farm to see how the calf he saved with a blood transfusion is getting on.
Oh, there she is.
And large animal vet Marcus takes on a horse challenge.
Can't quit.
Oh, no, I just don't want to muck around.